Welcome to the 8th week of our class. We're halfway through Module 2 and halfway through the semester. This week, as we continue our work in Module 2, La vie universitaire, we'll be learning the days of the week, the months of the year, some common date expressions, and also this week be talking about the irregular verb avoir. Let's start out with the days of the week. Note that the French calendar starts on Monday. We have lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, dimanche. Répétez lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, dimanche. We'll talk about why the days of the week are the way that they are in order in lab, but it's important to know as well that just like in English, the days of the week are named after other things. For example, in English, the word for Monday is named after the moon. In French, lundi is also named after the moon. The word for moon in French is lune. Let's look at the months and seasons. The first season is l'hiver. The months of the season hiver are décembre, janvier, février. We next have le printemps with mars, avril, et mai. In l'été, we have juin, juillet, août. And l'automne, septembre, octobre, novembre. There are a couple of important parties, festivals, holidays during the year that you'll want to know. First, in French, le jour de l'an is New Year's Day. La fête du travail is Labor Day. Pâques is Easter. La fête nationale in France is le 14 juillet. La Toussaint is All Saints' Day, and that's coming up on the 1st of November. And Noël. We'll talk more about important holidays in France and different ways that they're celebrated in our lab. But next, let's go on to the irregular verb avoir. Avoir, as I said, is an irregular verb. What this means is that it is not conjugated like any other verb. So far in this module, we've been working on our first group, or ER verbs. In those verbs, all of the infinitive forms end in an ER, and to conjugate them, we take off the ER and add the same ending for each person. The verb avoir is irregular. The auxiliary, the part that means to have, you can't take off the IR on the end and add a new ending. You have to change the entire spelling. This is what it looks like. J'ai for je, tu as, il, elle et on a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, and elles ont. A couple of pronunciation notes. You'll see that in this last or second column, you always pronounce a Z between the S and the A. Nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont. This is called liaison. We've seen it before. Let's practice the verb again. Répétez. J'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, on a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont. You have to put the verbs in this order. You can't take the AI from je and move it down here with tu. It would be like saying I has instead of I have. The difference between avoir in English and in French is that in English, when we say I have, you have, we have, they have, we have some commonalities in the forms. In French, they're all different, and you just have to memorize them. Let's look at some examples. J'ai un chat. I have a cat. Nous avons un cours de français ce semestre. We have a French class this semester. Est-ce que vous avez un cours de philosophie? And elles ont des amis. They have some friends, and this they is feminine and plural. The thing that's important to know is with avoir in the affirmative, we always use the indefinite article, un, une, or des. However, when we change the sentence to the negative, we also need to change our article to de or d apostrophe if the word that comes after starts with a vowel. So using the same examples from the preceding slide, but making them negative, we say, Je n'ai pas de chat. I don't have any cats. Nous n'avons pas de cours de français. Or, elles n'ont pas d'amis. They don't have any friends. In English, we make the same change. We say, they don't have any friends. Whereas in the affirmative, we say, they have some friends. Lastly, we use the verb avoir in French to speak about our age. In English, we use the verb être. In French, it's avoir. To ask how old you are, we say, Quel âge as-tu? Or using the vous form, Quel âge avez-vous? The answer to the question is j'ai, and then the number of years, 23 ans. J'ai 18 ans, etc. It's different than in English, and it's important to remember that you use the verb avoir to talk about your age. You also need to say ans afterwards, years, because otherwise they might wonder if you have 23 children or 23 cats. You have 23 years. Save your questions for lab. We'll be going over some examples with avoir, as well as talking more about the calendar. I'll see you then.